explain why we're doing it. So Manny, during his overhead squat assessment, showed you're going to demonstrate. In his overhead squat assessment, he showed a left shifting in weight, and his right arm was higher than his left arm. So what that tells us is that he has some unequal tension applied to his body. So in conjunction with stretching, proper resistance training program, we also need to implement foam rolling to break up any atrophies, or I like to describe it as gunk, in the muscle, so that way we can loosen him up. Manny works out quite frequently, but he does sit at a desk most of the day, so we see a lot of imbalances, especially within the hips, the obliques, that is pulling his body to one side, and then the imbalance between his chest and back is pulling the shoulders forward, rounding the back, which is causing a lot of tension in his lats, which will even therefore prevent Manny from growing a bigger chest, right? So I emphasize to the client, hey, you want these goals, we need to foam roll. So what we're gonna do is, I always like to start on the floor. So I'm gonna instruct Manny to go ahead and sit on the foam roller with your feet facing the camera.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna start on the butt or the glutes. Now most clients don't know anatomical names, so I'm not gonna say, hey Manny, roll out your piriformis. He's gonna look at me like I'm crazy. So we want to talk in layman terms. So what I'm gonna instruct Manny to do is first just get acclimated to the foam roll. So I'm gonna have him bend his knees and go ahead and put his hands on the side of him, right? And he's just gonna roll back and forth so that he's rolling in his glutes. So kind of loosening up his backside, rolling out the glute muscles, and then even getting into the top part of his hamstring complex where the hamstrings connect with the glutes. Because with his hip imbalance, he also had an anterior pelvic tilt, which means that those hamstrings are compromised throughout the day and being pulled. So we don't want to necessarily static stretch them, we want to foam roll them. All right, perfect. So from there, Manny, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you get in a plank position. So go ahead and hop off the foam roller for me.
Okay.
All right, so you now know kind of how to roll on this thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put this under your knees, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and fold on top of it like we did a plank in our workout today during our assessment, okay? And the foam roller at that point is going to be right on top of your thighs. And just like you're rolling on your butt, I'm gonna have you roll it on your thighs, okay?
Okay.
Again, the objective here is to loosen up acid buildup or atrophies. This is not gonna feel great, Manny, so go ahead and take it easy and go ahead on your forearms. Yep, and you wanna keep the core contracted as well as we are doing this. The client might feel some pain. You want to reassure them that the more that they do this, the less pain they will feel. But it's very important to breathe deeply through these movements. Also communicate with them. Hey, how are you feeling, Manny? Is your back starting to hurt? You keeping the abdomen sucked in?
Yes, and this feels tender.
Okay, awesome. Now, tenderness is normal because again, we are breaking up a lot of that those atrophies, the gunk as you will, within the fatty tissue. So we want to make sure that they're going slow, not going too fast. That could cause injury. And we're spending about 15 to 30 seconds in each muscle group. All right, Manny, beautiful. So we want to go ahead and we're going to go over an IT stretch and a lat roll, a roll, not a stretch. So the next thing I'm going to have you do is you're going to sit on it like you're sitting on a side saddle. Okay, so you're gonna put the side of your butt on the foam roller, and all I want you to do is cross your ankle over your knee, okay? And then you're gonna slowly lean back until you're getting like the top of your butt cheek. Okay, so that is where we're hitting that piriformis and working on that asymmetrical shift in the hips.
Okay.
So remember, slow and steady, and you're gonna cross your ankle over your knee. And you're just rolling on the top of that butt cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that tension right there is what's causing your hips to actually shift. So when we go to do those heavier lifts, you know, your left side is taking most of the brunt of the force, or the dominating side that he's pulling to. I don't remember which side it was. The dominating side he was pulling to is taking the blunt of the force. Awesome, perfect. So while we're on your side, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to go ahead and switch down to your lat. So you're going to go ahead and sit on the floor. Okay. I want you to pretend like you're on a billboard. You know, you're going to lay on a lazy boy chair.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. So what I want you to do is now you're going to flex this leg and go ahead and lift that butt off the ground. And I want you to slowly, keeping your abs sucked in, slowly turn out, stretching, 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 and slowly turn back in. So you're trying to open up that chest, and I want you to focus on your elbow on the floor and try to keep it connected to the floor as you're slowly opening up the chest, rolling on that lat. Now the rib cage is right here too, so if this is a bigger person, I would actually have him lay on his back and bear hug himself, so that way he can slowly roll with the spine. And this is also going to get into like his intercostals, opening the chest up, and we're even working on his rotation. So you can assess your client at this point and see what their thoracic rotation is like, because one side is going to be better than the other. Great, awesome. So that completes our SMR session for today. I would recommend that the client does this routine after every session, spending anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes performing foam rolling. It doesn't need to have to be super intense.